So what exactly happens if you are seen? I'm showing few of the clips. Don't take it personal. See the first picture, the selfies. This is also called as this one groupies. See this selfie, what it indicates. Any idea? Any idea from the participant side? You are seeing the selfie now. Any what you call a clue you are going to get from this? These are all typical students. This one. Vanishri madam, I think you are very keenly looking into the picture. Okay, what is your opinion about the selfie or groupie, whatever it may be? Anybody's comment?
As if they don't care, something like that, sir.
I think it's the way of expressing their joy, sir.
Huh?
It's the way of expressing their joy, and they are comfortable with a group of peoples.
Okay. Any other comments?
Sir, as if they don't care. It might be like they are enjoying also, or as if they don't care also, something like that, sir.
Okay, the men teachers are not responding. What is wrong?
I think it is a picture which is showing the height of socialism, social nature or friendship.
Okay, sir. Anyway, you have got a different opinions. For me,
Hello?
as a side. Yes, sir. Any Shreyas, okay.
ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ವಿಭಿನ್ನತೆ
Huh?
ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ವಿಭಿನ್ನತೆ
Oh, they are much more having more varieties than what you call animals. Okay.
Maybe, sir, they're kidding, or maybe they might be kidding, or they might be what is like that. I'm not getting that particular word.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, nobody's from psychology background in the participants.
Sir, Vanishri sir, ಇದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ misbehave ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ sir.
ಹೌದಾ? Okay.
ಹಾ sir.
Okay, for as a psychologist, okay, if I critically analyze,
sir,
I can see some psychopathology there. Don't be scared about it. Okay, I can see some psychopathology behind this. Why? Because if you see the tongue protrusion, if you see all the actions, you see all the pictures, if you see, they're all having a tongue protrusion. Okay, in tongue protrusion is a typical case in children, especially with the mental retardation, where they don't have a control over the tongue.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether these students want to say that they are mentally retarded or something else.
No, sir.
Or is there in a what you call I have mopped the eyes because to see the effect of these tongues. So whether there is an what you call pathology behind that attention seeking behavior. See, this is where one has to what you call critically analyze. It is not only one. I'm going to show you more. See this. Not less than a horror movie. And see the side by side pictures. And what is this present generation want to convey us? That is more important. By putting this on media or social media, what they want to convey for us? Not that, there are more. I have broken these pictures into several pieces. See the first expression, see the second expression, third, fourth, and fifth within the same picture. Now I see in each picture there is some problem. So think about it. If our own children are doing like this, where we are? And for me, see the next picture. What does this signifies? Nowadays we talk about a lot of LGBT plus issues or LGBTQ plus. Our students are more into that. So it is a serious matter. Nonetheless, there is one more picture. What is this? And these are not created pictures. These are the original pictures which are copied from different sources. Now what this signifies? There is a single X, double X, triple X. Now all this shows there's a diversion of what you call normal thinking to something else. Maybe you have never thought when you are a student, right? When you are a student, I think those things are never existed. Now suddenly if these things are coming, then what is wrong?
Because of mobile, sir.
Yeah, mobile is there, but I'm telling how the mentality of the students have been changing, and later uploading into the what you call Facebook or Instagram, then fighting over it or giving comments over it. We are spending more time on that rather than attending. Yes, sir, Diwakar sir. Yeah.
Sir, actually, nowadays the students' intention is to get the attention of somebody else by doing all these kinds of nonsense things. They just want the attention of some other people, and
Sir, you are right, but my problem as a teacher, how to get them back into the classroom and make their classroom best. That's what our entire what you call the theme of the talk today, because the students are all diverted. That's why I said what you call at-risk students. Okay. Yes, madam. Somebody's on the line. Okay.
Yes, sir. I think they want to show their indifferent attitude towards the, their habits and all. Indifferent. So we are quite different than the normals. Maybe their intention. It's what I think.
Madam, I approve your opinion, but I know that all of you agree that this is not a normal behavior.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, then we have got a responsibility to bring them back. So to make our classroom more effective. Because I'm connecting to our classroom management. Because of this, they're more bothered about outside activities than the classroom activities. And that's why our classes must be boring for them, because in classroom we don't show this all. We don't allow this. So that's where things. And there is something more. And whether this video is going to this one, just watch the video. And if you have got a sound, just turn the sound on. See now, in one or in I think it's around minimum of less than a minute, or I think it's around 11 seconds. How many times a girl has changed her shoes?
6 times.
6 times.
I'm not asking a quiz there, but I'm asking. It's not only the shoes, even the dress. So how much time has been taken for the student to manage this video? Have you ever thought of this? We'll continue slowly. See the next one. Now see the other girl. Now imagine how much time is being nowadays. This is just earlier there's a TikTok. It's been banned now. Now we have got what you call reels and all. You must have seen even on the road. They are more crazy about making reels and all. But that same interest is not there in the studies. It is not only just changing the dress. There's a typical way of dancing. Just see how the girls.
Sir.
Boys are not less. It's not that I'm focusing only girls. See the boys. See the repetition of the steps.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah, now we have seen what you call a few of the clips. There are the short clips. I have condensed it. There are some clips I cannot show you. That kind of what you call visuals, which I cannot even show you on the screen. Now remember, because of these things, now they want to be more what you call seen from other people, want more popularity, and unfortunately, now there are so many YouTubers have emerged trying to make money out of it. I don't know how many of you know, many of the youngsters or children, they started making money. There's a real diversion, what you call, from the classroom situation to outside, where the quick money, what you call, plays an important role, and they forget the future responsibilities. And it's not only just I've shown some clips, there are many. Just for a few, this one, I have what you call shown how the diversion would be there, and immediately it will be put on what you call Insta or Facebook and waiting for the comments. And you know how the bullying, cyber bullying happens, and unnecessarily our students are getting into things which are not required at this moment. So this ends up in anxiety, depression, and stress that makes them less interested in the class. So that is where, as a teachers, identify these students, try to convince them and what do you call counsel them, so that all these things can be done later after their student years rather than now, so that they can be more into the studies. That's also one of the job of a teacher. So even the media applications have got lot of negative impact on the classroom environment, though they are sitting in the class, but they may be thinking something different. What could be the next reel? What could be the next action? What could be the next sequence of what you call making things? So this is where, as a teacher, you have a what you call more responsibility to manage the class better. Then, have you ever questioned that why students are not engaged or not very serious about the class? This is where the challenge is for us. See the first one, bored due to lack of challenge. Nowadays I see a lot of change in the students' mentality. When I was what you call beginner as a teacher, the student used to come and fight with me for half mark and 1 mark. Do you believe it or not? They used to fight for half mark. Sir, you have gone half mark extra to that boy. Why you are not given? I have written the same thing. You are not given me. I used to enjoy those academic fights. Nowadays, even if the student fails, he will not come and ask why you have failed me. And along with that, the students lack challenge. That motivation is lacking. And sometimes the students think that the lessons are irrelevant. Some portions are like that, which you are not matching with your what you call the current curricula and the settings, where some lessons are totally irrelevant. So, but NEP is trying to make it more relevant. Let us see. And another thing is from, see, this is a blame for the teacher. Don't feel the teacher cares. The teacher comes, takes his classes and goes. Teacher has least bothered about the people. This could be another way where what you call students are not interested in the class, or they are disruptive. So part of responsibility lies with us, that caring. In the caring sense, I'm not telling that what you call very specific caring. It should be a general caring, and not a what you call a specific, like no very individualistic caring. Then you'll be labeled. That's again a problem. So be careful about that. Then perceived inability, sometimes intellectual differences. Though you are trying to explain in a better way, they are not able to understand. There's a lack of understanding because of their intellectual issues. They can understand only that much. But once they don't understand the things, they might find the subject is boring. Once they find subject is boring, they might the subject is difficult. Once the subject is difficult, they lose interest. Then they need for power and control. Not everybody can be a leader in the class. Only 1 or 2 can be leaders or mentors in the class overall. So what is going to happen? Looking at the other person, and nowadays media has got an added influence. The college room situation, how the villain acts as a hero and hero acts as a villain. So all those things where they also think that they want to become college heroes and all, which is not possible in reality, can have its own impact on the what you call studying of students, and which in turn has got impact on the managing classes, because if they're more interested outside, what you're going to do then?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, nowadays what is happening is, because they do not have fear about the examination. That is why they are more distracted. What I feel, when we were in the schools, it was the biggest fear was the examination. We used to read, but nowadays what happening is, because of the easiest way of making them passing, that is why they are more distracted nowadays. They think that whatever we write, teachers they are pass. And the promotion system, which the policies of the government made the students worsen and worst nowadays. I think so.
Yeah, Devakar sir, I do agree with you. But who is the responsible person? We are the teachers again. Back to
Yes,
the
sir,
responsible.
we are all responsible.
Yeah.
Actually, sir,
So
15 days back I had been to evaluation. The student has written the question paper 2 or 3 times. If I pass them, what happens? He conveys the message to 10 more students, and whatever we write, the teachers are going to pass.
Divakar sir, you are lucky that the students are at least good enough to write the question and answer questions. In one of the script, I saw a story, which is not
Definitely,
at all, which is not at all relevant to the the subject part at all. So
and nowadays they are not at all bothering about their future, and we are putting so much effort in making the class, making them to understand the subject. Everything we are doing with our best, but now they are more distracted because of these electronic gadgets nowadays.
So that is why we, as a teacher, we have got a more responsibility. Now your
Yes, sir.
responsibility is more increased more. It's not that earlier teachers didn't have responsibility. Now, as you said rightly, it's not that they're not bothered about feared about the exams. They know they pass. That is the concept they have got.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Either
sir.
by adding internals or something, and somehow they pass.
Oh, yes, sir.
And they know that they're finding it difficult to get a government job. In private sector, somehow they can get a small job which can take care of their lives.
Swiggy, Zomato.
Yeah, somehow
because
somehow they can take care of their lives, not like our days. So that is why that seriousness has been decreasing.
Yes, sir.
It's not, but one correction is not with all the students. There are some
not
students
with,
are
not
yeah,
with
yeah.
all the students.
Yeah,
I
there are
agree,
some
sir.
students are still really serious. I have seen in my own
Yes, sir.
group. There are some students are still
Yes, sir.
they're like their mentality is still intact. But as you said, all the answers
sir.
what you said, yes, they are least bothered about the exam. They know somehow they pass. And our teachers don't feel
Yes,
bad.
sir.
The evaluation 16 script can be done in 30 to 40 minutes. I've seen teacher and getting out. Are we really reading the scripts, or are we giving the marks for what you call per page? So this also calls for introspection from teacher side, where we need to be also serious and sit there, whether it's a digital evaluation or offline evaluation, read the content, assign the marks. This is more important rather than giving a quantity. One page has written 3 marks, but 12 pages, 36 marks. Some teachers develop the standard without even looking into the content of the paper. Some teachers, again, not all again, I'm not generalizing. So for those teachers, please try to rectify yourself. We are bringing a generation which is not useful at all for the future. If they're not corrected now, when they're going to be corrected? So please look into that. Okay, we'll continue further. Next aspect, we are going to talk about the questioning part. How much we question inside a class. Now remember, when you talk about the question and getting feedback, the two important things. If in a class, majority of the students are failing, it has a specific meaning. Can any one of you can elaborate on, if majority of the students are failing, whose fault it is? That is more important for us. If majority of the students are failing in the class, it reflects the quality of teaching from the teacher. If few of them are failing, it is a normal process. But if the majority of the students are failing, that calls for a reflection for the teacher to rethink about the way of teaching, how to make it simple. Because I've seen after failing, everyone or majority of them then telling you are not fit for a student. But are we fit as a teacher to disseminate the knowledge in a very simple way for the students? So that's where the questioning matters. So a questioning for the students indirectly gives idea that whatever we have said, whether they have understood or not. A questioning actually gives idea that our quality of teaching is really what you call understood. So how to question? Now don't be targetive, okay, because sometimes we question the target. If I don't like a student, I target that student. That should not be a process. A questioning should be random, and you know that you have to give options for the toppers also, because they also waiting for answering. So a particular group of students also important. Then asking in sequence, that is also more important. If you don't ask in a sequence, then there is a problem, because there is a continuity in the content part. Then you have to give response to those students who are raised hands, because if you don't respond to them, their motivation will be reduced. So even if I raise my hand, my teacher will not ask me what to call answer, then he might get demotivated. Then you have to select the students after modeling the answer, one who repeats and gives a good answer. Then you say tomorrow we are asking questions so that you do your homework. All these things, when you say that next day the teacher is going to ask question, it gives idea that the student has to read before, or at least she has to read the points which have been done in the class or written in the class. So questioning is indirectly improves the classroom, what you call efficiency. But remember, when you question, don't target. If I don't like a student, I am asking questions only for him or her, which is totally injustifiable. So it should be generalized, and even if the subject, what you call questions are not answered by the student, you have to rectify and you have to correct him, not snub him, so that you'll be giving option for the next day. You can say, tomorrow also I'm going to ask the question, be ready. The student will be more alert now, and indirectly they'll be ready for questioning, so that if they're not reading the full text, at least they are looking into the points. And this questioning can improve their, what you call, retention. So once they are retained, the things are retained better, they can answer well in the examination. So that's the idea. Questioning plays a important role. Then come to the next part. After questioning, we talk about types of students. That time we saw types of learners. Now we look into the types of students. Anyway, this is my own vague classification. There is nothing is written in the book. The first group is called as excellent students. Second group is good. Third is the average group, and fourth one is worthless, or sometimes they referred as hopeless group. Now, what do you mean by an excellent group? Okay, this group of students, they prepare in advance. Before come to class, they must have read the content and they made out little points over that. Then they come to class and sit. Now these students are bit, what you call, smart, because you cannot beat around the bush in front of them. That means what? You have to also prepare well. So this is an excellent group. They prepare well in advance before come to the class. In the class, they listen to your classes, your teaching, clarify, and the same evening they go and update with the notes. So they are ready with the 3 times preparation. Their success rate is 80% plus, or their scoring rate is 80% plus, because they have started before, what you call, before you started class. They have read in the class, they have refreshed, and in the night or evening they have completed by writing a notes. So they are the excellent student, and their, what you call, scoring rate is very high. Then comes a good student, good group. Whereas this good group is basically, they don't prepare in advance, but they are serious inside the class, and they prepare the notes in the same evening, and next day they might clarify the doubts with the teacher. So this is a good group, but their preparation is not as much as excellent students. So their success rate is around 60%. So that's why we call it as good students. Then there is a third group, which is a majority in the student groups in any college. It is called as average group. The students belonging to this group, they don't prepare in advance. They don't prepare the notes on the same evening. They wake up, or they'll be more alert when the examination timetable is announced on the website or notice board. That time they are more alert. I think most of us are like that, where only after, what you call it, declaring the timetable for the examination, now we are more serious. Now they start running around collecting notes, somehow attend the exam and get a pass mark. That's why they're called as average. There's another group. So this group is called as worthless group. Why? Because they don't prepare in advance. They are not even good student like to make notes. They don't even bother when the timetable has come. Their alertness or high levels of activity begins when the examination is just 2 days before or 1 day before. That time their activity is on the peak. They may write to the nearest hostel and take all the xerox, including the previous semester. They don't know which one to article xerox, and they might download all the information available on the Google website, and now started studying, giving a standing instruction. I am on a mission. Next 48 hours, do not disturb me is a status. Do not disturb me. I am on a mission. What is that mission? Studying. And for mummy, there's a standing instruction. Whenever I want, keep a flask of tea or coffee ready. Don't even wait for my instructions because I am studying. Poor mummy will give all the facilities because she at least she thinks my son would pass or daughter would pass. Now imagine the student may not reach the examination center because of the lack of sleep and tiredness. He might fall on the road, or even if he goes to the examination center with great difficulty, he'll write something and probably the results would be worst. I don't have to explain, either just pass or fail. Now, all these four groups you must have encountered in your day-to-day or in your classroom situation. Now, the biggest thing is your job with these students. Can you switch over worthless to hopeless students to average, average students to good, and good students to excellent? As a teacher, can you manage these students? Because I don't want any of my students to fail. At least I want my students to at least average and above average, not definitely just pass. You cannot put the average student into excellent category in no time, no difficult. Can we put one step up? I think that's where you can identify. You can identify those students, take a risk and improve them so that even if one step improved, I think you have done your job best. And you might ask, what do you mean by excellent student? What is the scope for them? Excellent student can improve much better. Instead of 95, he can score 99. That is also can be an effort. So, and you encounter all the three students. Remember, all the four groups of students. So be careful about them and identify them and manage your class better. Because sincerely speaking, the excellent students will be bored by your class. Why? Because they already read about the class. They get bored there because it's a repetition for them, but they don't show that boredness. So think about that and you can manage better. Then come to student environment. How you involve the students? One is you shape the environment, you plan the environment, then listening and responding. This is also more important. We start with one by one, shaping the environment. Now, this is where you have option or freedom to do. You have to reserve a classroom if your option is given. And how you want to, what you call, shape the classroom environment. And how many of you really declared in the beginning of the class, what is your expectation from the students? And how many of you asked, what is their expectation from your side? Have you ever questioned this during orientation program inside the class, not the general orientation program? How many of you really asked what is expected from a teacher? At the same time, have you asked your students what is expected from them or what they expect from you? Have you asked? This is where you can be closer to students, thinking that what they expect. At the same time, what is your expectation from them? I think that you will have a smooth relationship with the group. Without telling your expectation, how can you expect that they should behave like this? So if it's not started yet, if you're not done that, at least from next semester onwards, start doing like this. First, claim your expectations, that this is what you expect from a class. At the same time, there is an option for them to ask what they expect from you. That is also more important because nowadays we are moving into student-centered learning. The student might say, give us more activities than mere teaching. So accordingly, you have to change. We want to do more activities than only listening. No, then you change. So if they want to get into your expectation, you should also get into their expectation. Then only the things will be very smooth. And another important thing is, how many of you really remember your student's name? This has got a very big psychological impact on the student. Do you remember all of your students? Mamta madam, I think she raised voice. Mamta madam, do you remember all of your students' name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mamta madam, what is the advantage by remembering their name?
That develops coordination and friendly, means good atmosphere within the class.
See, the simple idea, if you start what you call learning and using student names, one thing is they are proud that you know their names.
Yes, sir.
They're proud that our
That
teacher,
brings closer
and
intimation.
and it brings a small fear in them. Yes, teacher knows my name. So
Okay,
there are
okay.
two
They
ways.
will
One is
recognize.
they're proud of the, what you call, proud of themselves that you know their names. Second is they're scared of you also because you know their names.
Yeah.
So either way,
Anytime I will come.
yeah, either way it works. As a teacher, it works positive. Since you know their names, they are more careful and they want to become more obedient because you know their names. I think we practice this rather than calling XYZ. Hey, Baro Hogo, you call the names, see the changes. So another tip for you is learn the student names. Nothing wrong. If you plan, it will come. If you manage, it will come. It's not a big this one. By this, you can really shape your classroom better. Then planning. How many of you really under NEP made small groups, assign them responsibility, make them more participation? Nowadays, if you see, even in what you call classes where primary and classes, there is a group participation where I've seen my son sitting with another 2-3 his classmates preparing a what you call PPT, preparing PPT at the lower standards and presenting in a group. I think your children must be doing the same thing. Your son must have hit your head, dad or mom, my teacher has given an assignment, give me 4 slides, I want to prepare. Of course, project work done is by the parents, not by the students most of the times. Now, that kind of group work where you can have you assign, once you assign a group work for your students, in a way you are giving responsibility and you can give more guidance to them, so that by providing this, for example, giving one assignment, presenting online or presenting on PPT, you know how much benefit it has got for the student. If a student has got a stage fear, it can be reduced by classroom environment. Because a student may be scared to speak in front of hundreds of students, but in a class 30-40, I think he may be more comfortable to speak. Now, this is where you have to, what you call, enhance, what you call, the capability of the student, identify them, bring them into forefront. That is more important. Then there's a plan. Second plan is variety of teaching methods, not just all the time chalk and talk or only talk. You can have in discussions, you can have small group work. Rather than discussing about a hospital management, you can take the students directly into the hospital, see how it been managed. Or if you're talking about environmental pollution, rather than talking inside the class, can you take them to the field, show what exactly happening in the article environment? I think that has got a better impact. And along with that, what you call, follow-up questions and all those things. Then grading is very important in planning. Do you do a makeup examination? I think I would expect you, all of you, to involve in this. Give another chance to improvement. All the teachers there, rather than restricting yourself, can you give what you call a makeup examination, one who seeks, not that one who what you call this one. Suppose a student gets a 5 or 6 marks less, and if a student demands, can you give me a makeup exam? I think you should be for it, because as a teacher, we should be always for development of a student. And by reading, if a student gets more marks, I think you should permit and you should give another test. I know it's a headache for you because repeat test with a different question and you have to study, but giving makeup examination, if it can improve student and it can improve students mark at least 2 to 3 more, I think it is good. So please go for it. I think you got a better chance. Then listening and responding inside the class. How many of you really encourage questioning behavior from the students? How many of you really encourage questioning from the student side? Please encourage questioning behavior. There are some teachers, some teachers, not all, they snub the students. When a student asks a questions and we don't know the answer, we say idiot, meaningless question. Actually, question has a meaning, but we don't know the answer. So because of our ignorance, the student will become idiot. So my sincere request for you, never use the word an idiot. Nowadays, student can go against you into the law of the court because psychologically, idiot means mentally retarded. His IQ should be less than 60. So you have to prove that once you say that. So be careful while using these words. Kannada, the typical word is dadda. So be careful while using these words. So please encourage, and many times, yes, if not many times, sometimes we don't know the answer. Why can't we agree promptly? I appreciate your question, but tomorrow you'll have answer. Can we have that kind of change? So that thank for the student. Why? Because he has given indirectly a clue. Dear teacher, your knowledge level is not enough. You have to improve. That will, but he has given a chance to improve. So go back, read, and next day you appreciate the student and give the answer. Now this is what we call real questioning behavior. Of course, there are sometimes inappropriate and what you call useless questions. You know how to deal with that. But if a student has asked a sensible question, please do not snub him. Please do not ignore. Because the moment you start ignoring, next time they don't ask questions. And when a student asks question, don't stop in between. I know. Many times the teacher say, hey, go to bida. No. Allow them completely. This is more important because the student may have to have more things to say. Allow them completely. Then you have to provide specific, encouraging, and varied responses. Many times you don't know the answers. What will do? If anybody knows, yes, you can also answer. Then I'll answer. That's a trick of a teacher. If others know the answer, then they'll answer first. Then okay, it's the same answer. Then when a student answers right, make it a big thing so that you summarize to clarify ideas. Then whenever student says something, please give the respect to that student ideas. You have to thankful because that idea never occurred to you, but that idea is given by a student. I think there is something that we have to encourage, and we have to give a lot of what you call respect for the students' creativity. That's why he has asked you the questions. Then you have to give the feedback. You have to take the feedback. So in the entire classroom, what is the idea? One is what is the goal, that where the student should go. The next one is the progressing, how to go there. Then what is the consequence, what next, and where next. This is also more important. So keep these things in mind. Then it has a lot of impact on the classroom environment. Then feedback I was talking about. How many of you really ask the feedback at the end of the class? Do you really ask the feedback? Anyone there?
No, sir.
Please ask the feedback. The feedback should be in only 3 ways.
We will ask.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yeah.
In undergraduate level, we have only 60 minutes of class time. So in middle of the whole timings, it's quite difficult for every faculties to obtain the feedback from the students. That is the main drawback or the constraint usually.
Shreyas, I know you are a good teacher. You are in my college. I'll tell you what to do. I'm not telling that you have to ask every time.
So,
At least in the beginning stages, at least in the initial first few classes, you have to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the class. Okay, but it could be your speed of lecture. The student may not be able to cope up. You don't know about it. So then you may have to reduce the speed, or your class could be very slow. The student might be getting bored. So the idea here is you have to have a feedback at least in the initial stages. If you need not ask each and every day, what did you learn? What was expected? What you liked it? and what you didn't like it. This is also more important. Sometimes student may be sitting quiet just because of the teacher is very strict. But are you reaching them? To reach there, you have to rectify yourself. Today I am reaching here because I have got a lot of feedbacks. Not only one session, several sessions from several groups of people. So what happens? The moment you start getting feedback, it gives a clue that this is a way you have to improve. So I'm not negating your point that okay, within 1 hour, how much we can do. But can you spare a few minutes at the end of each class in the beginning stages? I think you can do better. As I said, okay, contents are reaching or not, whether I have to change for the next class. And teacher evaluation is there, if you remember, by the students, not because of the NAC. How many of you really dare enough to take your own evaluation anonymous? Are you really ready to take without NAC accreditation, without anybody's what you call background? Are you ready to take one feedback from your students, how you are, without any name? This is where the challenge lies. So take that feedback, not for the NAC. I know NAC and all, we hype it, openly telling. And we tell sometimes our students give more better rankings. Please don't do that. For your improvement, what you have to do is let the what you call ratings should be anonymous, not even writing, it's only ticking. From there, you get to know where exactly you stand. So please do that. Why? Because the effective feedback will provide information that you can help your shape your teaching much better. It's not to ridicule yourself, anybody there. It is to shape helping the teaching for yourself. So please do that. I'm for teachers' feedback. Please take it. Then there are some things more important. We are going to talk about it. After finishing the class, did you provide sufficient information on the topic you delivered? Or did you just finish the syllabus? There are two things. One is completing the syllabus. Another one is providing sufficient information. Now, please understand why I'm telling this is, in PG, we give some freedom for the students so that they also can study. But in UG, it's our responsibility more than the PG teachers. So, have you provided sufficient information? Have you skipped any specific topics in specific units, which we found it difficult? Have you ever commented, or somehow I want to finish this unit? If you say, somehow I want to finish this, what you call, somehow I want to finish this unit, that means what? You want to finish it somehow. That means you are not interested or you're finding it difficult. If you want to finish it somehow, how the student will expect the class? Or how have you finished your classes in a hurry? Or somehow I finished the class, finish the unit. Don't be in that somehow concept. You maybe finish the syllabus, but you have not reached the students. Have you successfully clarified all the doubts or queries raised by the students? Or just skipped them? Question mark for you. After finishing the class, did you come happily outside, or did you say, oh, it's over? That kind of this one. Did you enjoy your class? After this talk, I'm still enjoying the class. After the talk, also I'm enjoying my class. Why? Because I'm purely interacting with you with the factual information. Can you do the same thing? You should. That is why the beginning sentence we said, you should master. Once you master the material, you can play anywhere to anywhere. You must have heard the comments in Kannada. ಈ ಮೇಷ್ ನೋಡ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೇಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ. You must have heard that. ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕೇಳೋ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. Any topic you ask, he knows. That means what? The teacher is playing with the subject rather than subject is playing with them. We should be players of the subject, not expect subject to play with us. So that's where when you master the subject, I think you are happy with the class because you know how to manipulate the subjects here and there, go from front to back or back to front. And are you really happy when you came out of the class? Or gave a big, what you call a big breathing. Ah, it's over. That's not expected. Come happily. And another thing is nowadays, as a teacher, as my colleagues, I'm telling you, nowadays there is a award craze, and I don't know, some of the people, what you call, who are what you call NGOs and unrecognized and unreputed. They're reputed. I'm not talking about that. Suddenly you get a letter. We are recognized your talents, and there is award for you, best teacher award. But anyway, before you come, pay 15,000 or 20,000 rupees. Now, please don't go for such awards. If somebody really recognizes your work, your teaching skills, and then they call you, please go for it. There are some awards, paid awards. My dear teachers, let's not go for what you call paid awards. Let awards can what you call come in search of you. I'm asking a very philosophical question there. What's the best award for a teacher in his lifetime? Best award, not lifetime teaching award. Anybody there?
Recognition from the
Students.
Huh?
Recognition from the
If
students.
any student tells that he is a good teacher, that is the lifetime recognition.
That's one. Okay, anything more?
Student satisfaction and achievement.
Okay. Oh, sure, you're there. Okay, I'm seeing you now. Okay.
Appreciation by the students and good by leading their life democratically.
Okay, this all you are telling when the student is there inside the college or in the college, when he is pursuing his studies. What
Sir,
I
after-
expect is, even after 5 years, even after 10 years, even after 20 years, if the student comes to you and talks in a good way, I think that would be the best award, which I claim that my student still remembers me for good things, not for bad things. That is more important. They should remember there was a teacher, because of him I am like this. I have several such anecdotes where, especially when my students are in khakis, in a police dress, and we'll be walking on the road or somewhere. Suddenly they come in what you call in military style, and suddenly they stand and salute. We get scared. Who is this person? But for our what you call happiness, he removes the cap and says, "Sir, I was your student." I think this is the best respect you would have ever got, because his others are following. We respect our boss, and our boss respects someone else. Who is that boss? You must have experienced this, where especially where this has happened with me several times, where suddenly these police people, especially, they suddenly confront and salute. I get scared. Why? What? Somebody is going to catch me or what? For what? But later I realized that my students are respecting me, and you feel so happy. You feel that what you call this one, no? You feel that fulfillness. Okay, yes, this is me. I think that is a big award which I expect. Rather than Shikshak Ratan, or I think many of you must have got letters from Delhi. Okay, Gyani Jail Singh has got, we are also recognized you. So I don't believe in those awards. I don't even reply them. I just throw them. So better be with the students rather than awards. That's what I expect. Okay, now quickly, because we have got some more time. Where from your side, our students need help. One is, especially as I said, 70% of the students are from rural area, only 30% from our urban areas. The first thing is, when they shift from one place to other place, there are a lot of adjustment issues. A student who has studied all the time at home, suddenly he switched over to PG or hostel. Imagine the changes which is happening, both positive and negative. And because of the peer group pressure, like bullying and ragging and all, I think you have a moral responsibility to look into that. Risky behaviors, because now they are not under directly parental supervision. They are having what you call total freedom outside. Could be smoking, drugs, alcohol, and even media. We call social media addiction or internet addiction can be there. Then they really require sex education, because since they are traveling to city or mainstream, they may be misguided or curiosity. I think they require some counseling there. low self-esteem. Why? When they compare with others, they feel inferior, especially rural students. When they compare with the what do you call urban or city students, they feel inferior, withdrawn, because all these urban students are talking hi-fi English without grammar, and these students what you call speak, they don't know how to speak English, or they find it difficult to speak English. I think there the inferiority and loneliness begins. Then attention and concentration problems, because they see others how they're managing, and I am not even seen, or I'm not even recognized in the college. So this again brings kind of this one. And many times students have committed suicide. I don't know how many of you know that. Not because of any issues, because of the adjustment issues and because of the bullying or peer pressure. So we stand at a place where we need to orient them in the beginning itself when they come to class. So there are several issues where students need help. There is something more. Because of their lack of English issues and all, and they are put in English medium, automatically they end up in poor grades. I think some remedial teaching or something is required. Conflicts with the peers and teachers, that's also another thing. Some students are like this. Some students are argumentative, aggressive, and defiant. We have to manage that. Personal problems nowadays, issues, parental conflicts, because of the parents, the student is not able to study well. Divorce of our parents or single parenting, dominant parenting style, that also has impact. Financial problems, and nowadays we talk about between students, relationship issues. I think it's a very quite common word nowadays. Relationship, then common friend. Okay, there are several wordings have been come. Okay, then positive toxicity. I don't know. I'm getting words from my students, which I find it difficult to explain what it is. So all these personal problems, bereavement or loss, all this can have impact on the student where they require help. As somebody already said, examination anxiety, still it is there with the students, though it is not there as such as we expected earlier. Then academic pressures like high stakes testing, challenges of college admissions, that is also important because fee structure and admissions have adjustments. Many times scholarship will not come in time. Then later entering into a job market, not an easy job. That's why you do what you call, there is a what you call cell called as counseling cell. There is a cell called as career counseling. There is a cell called as what you call placement cell. Why this is because all these cells are required to help the students, where you as a teacher, if they are good outside, definitely they are good inside the class. That's the idea. And because of that, the benefit, a teacher can what you call be a counselor, you can be a guide inside the class as well as outside the class. You can achieve optimal personal growth from the student side, make the student acquire positive social skills and values. You can set appropriate career goals so that student is not misguided. That's more important. Many times students are not knowing their interests and aptitudes. I may have interest, I don't have aptitude. One of my students is there, he wants to become an IS officer, but I know that his intellectual things are not enough, so I have to direct him to some other jobs which he is fit into. Then realizing full academic potential is important. Make them productive, contributing, and members of not only Indian citizenship, even to the world community, where a teacher has got a great responsibility. There are various benefits for the students because of this. It can improve a lot on the following aspect: improve their personal traits, positive interests, improve skills and aptitudes. Career selection is another important thing based on their interests and aptitudes. Training is very important. And that's why we do mock interviews. So interview and live communication skills. And time management is also another thing. And realistic educational plan even for the future. All this can be what you call done. If you do, it will benefit the students. So that's the idea. Of course, these are the things are there, great teachers and all. And we are running short of time. Use of technology, how you can use teaching in classroom and all, using internet, mobile technologies, video transmission, social networking through blogs, podcasts, and YouTubes and all, you can still do it. These are the things where you can teach the basic skills, but you have to be very careful. So now I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show you for only 10 to 15 seconds. Can you please write, because or what you call, what you have seen, or just write. I'll show you for next few seconds, then we'll discuss over it. I'm going to show 5 seconds more. Okay. We start with the ladies or gentlemen. Okay, Mamta madam, you are seeing on the screen. I'm seeing you. So what did you see in the picture? Mamta madam, turn the microphone on. What did you see in the picture? Shiva, I'll come to that, come to you later, but I just want to answer from others. Mamta madam, can you listen to me? Are you hearing? Ashwini madam, I think Mamta madam is not responding.
Yes, sir. Sir,
What did you
I
see?
couldn't recognize exactly, but is it a dancing lady or something like that, sir?
Okay, you have come up with the dancing lady. Okay, Kavita madam there. Okay, Kavita madam, what did you see?
ಸರ್ ಅದು ವಾಟರ್ ಇದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಬಾಟಲ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಬಾಟಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ತರ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆ
Dance ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರಾ madam? Okay.
ಡಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅದು ಇದೆ.
Okay, Kushal Bargur sir is there. Sir. Bargur sir, ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ? ಹೊಸಳ್ಳಿ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೊಸಳ್ಳಿ ಅವರು ಸರ್ ಏನ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್? ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಸರ್? ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಾ ಸರ್? ಶೆಲ್ ಐ ಶೋ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್?
Show me, sir, once again.
Okay sir, now it's only for 5 seconds.
Hugging, sir.
I showed already. Okay. Yes sir, what did you see sir? Hosali sir.
Hugging.
Hugging. Who is hugging who? Who is hugging who?
Sir, dance ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
Dance ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? Who is dancing?
It's a couple poster.
It's a couple. Okay, Yashaswini madam. Okay, it's a couple poster. Okay. Murthy sir, I am seeing you. Okay.
ರಾಶಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಥುನ ರಾಶಿ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮಿಥುನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಎರಡು ಜೋಡಿಗಳು ರೊಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ನಾನ್ ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಪ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏದಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಿರೋಷಾ ಮೇಡಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಡ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಮೇಡಮ್? Madam, did you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
What did you see, madam?
ಜೋಡಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಜೋಡಿ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಜೋಡಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ.
ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸರಿ. ಮಂಜಾ ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ ನನಗೆ? ಓಕೆ
ಸರ್, ಕಪಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ಕಪಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಮಂಜಾತ್ ಕೆ ಬಿ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಸರ್, ನಾನೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಈಗ.
ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮಂಜಾತ್ ಎಂ ಕೆ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಸರ್, ಬಾಟಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಸರ್.
ಸರ್, ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಸರ್? ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಬಾಟ್ಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸೈಡ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀರಿದೆ. ಆ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಸರ್? ನೀರ್ ಮಧ್ಯ
ಕಪಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್.
ಕಪಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್. ವಾಣಿಶ್ರೀ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್.
ಸರ್, ಮೇಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಇಬ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ರವಿಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್, ಏನಾದ್ರು ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್?
ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಗ್ಗಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
Hugging and dancing. Okay. Shivaprasad, Dr. Shivaprasad, what did you see?
I saw fishes, a group of fishes inside the.
ಯಾರು ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ಯಾರು ಮಿಥುನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು? ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮೀನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? Somebody is okay. Now, did you see fishes there or did you see dancing there?
Fishes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Shivaprasad saw fishes, but others also are dancing. Yashaswini madam, still you can see fishes or still you see dancing?
It's the same posture, sir.
Okay, there are 9 dolphin fishes in this picture, okay?
sir.
Now we can see fishes also, sir. Fishes are there.
If you see fishes, then you don't see man and woman, okay?
Dolphin type.
9 ಡಾಲ್ಫಿನ್ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ.
ಇದೆ
ನೀವು-
ಸರ್ ಒಂದು 3
Oh, yes, sir.
ನೀವು
Yes,
ನೀವು ಡಾಲ್ಫಿನ್ ನೋಡಕ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ನೋಡಕ್ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಡಾಲ್ಫಿನ್ ಕಾಣಲ್ಲ.
ಒಂದು 2 3 4 5 6 7 8
9 ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
9 ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ 9 ಇದೆ.
There are 9 dolphin fishes. How do we perceive also has impact on our teaching and management. So don't get confused. So this is where you have to be this one. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಯಾರು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ?
Einstein.
ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೈನ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿನಾ?
Yeah, sir.
ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿನಾ?
ಅವರಿಂದ ಕಲಿಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು
Masking, sir. Masking.
ಅಲ್ಲ, are you seeing Einstein? Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll reduce the picture. I'm just reducing the picture.
Lady.
It's a girl.
Lady, sir.
I have just reduced the picture because I cannot push back the picture.
Okay.
So if you see picture on the smaller level, it looks like Marilyn Monroe. If you extend the picture, it looks like Albert Einstein. So be careful how we assess and judge our students. So our perception can go wrong.
Yes, sir.
So that is why before judging on a student, we have to have a double check and our what do you call, the perception should be very clear. What you are seeing in this picture?
Face, sir. Ladies. Lady face.
Why not 2 dry trees? Why not? That means what? We try to make our perception meaningful. So we add meaning to it. If it is
Face
good,
of a woman.
see, if it is
Face
good,
of a woman.
yes, madam. If it's good, it is fine. But if it's a bad perception, you have made a good perception out of it. For example, here it is. For me, it is just 2 dry trees are arranged in a specific portion. That's it. But if you have made a meaningful meaning out of it by creating a beautiful face of a girl or woman. So can we have the same impression with the students so that we should not have a negative impression on them? That also adds a lot to the classroom management. There is something more, I think. Okay. Can you see only one dot continuously? One of the circles and the center dot?
Looks like it's moving.
Is it really moving, madam?
No, it is an illusion.
So our perception, our perception goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
So don't allow yourself to go your perception wrong. It looks like we are under illusion. So please don't be under illusion. Let us be realistic. See this picture. Can you believe it's a painting on the road?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's a painting on the road. And how it is a 3D dimensional picture. See how it could be misleading us. Okay, all this article giving idea that, okay, our perception should be very clear while teaching or while dealing with the students. So if you take all these points, definitely what you call, you can manage your class. To conclude, the effective teachers manage their classrooms better. Ineffective teachers discipline their classroom. I don't want you to discipline your class. Better you manage the class. Your classroom, the student should come with the happiness, not with the fear. That is more important. Discipline comes with the fear, but management comes with the happiness. Then those teachers are managing well. They don't have much problems with the students. They know how to manage. Then so-called ineffective teachers always fighting with the management as well as with the students because they are not able to manage well. Then if you don't manage a classroom well, your learning and teaching will not take place better. Then whereas effective teachers can do a better job. Thereby, I end up my talk. We are left with another few minutes. So before I conclude, I wish you all the best. Happy teaching. Enjoy and make the best of your classroom anytime, so that all the time students will have a positive impression on you rather than negative impression. Thank you one and all. We have another 6 to 7 minutes for your questioning. We can extend a little more, not a problem. So if you have got a very specific question, please proceed. I'll try to answer, and even others can also add to it. It's not that only I have to answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yashaswini
Thank
here,
you, sir.
sir.
Thank
One
you,
by one,
sir.
one by one, one by one.
Thank you, sir.
You are telling thank you for the question or asking question, or you want to say thank you for goodbye? What is, I don't understand. Any questions from your side regarding classroom management?
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Okay, okay. Yashaswini madam. Okay, okay. Yes, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. Sir, yes, I went through all your complete session. I have a question now. I've been teaching architecture for since since 7 years. The thing is, nowadays, when we compare ourselves with the present students, we have a lot of differences. We can identify a lot of differences. Students are not willing to take up too much of pressure, and they are coming up with a lot of fancy words, say stating anxiety, depression, all those, like all these things. Like whenever there is a stress of submissions or examinations, they come up with this kind of excuses. Maybe they are really going through that also. But sometimes as a teacher, we have a lot of tied hands, like how to handle this. Being an youngster, I have a lot of issues, whether they are really being truthful or they are just taking it as an excuse, or how do we handle this kind of situations? Like we need to be very sensitive at this state is what I understand. But how to manage?
Okay, I got your point. I got your point. See, the first thing is we call these kinds of behavior as self-defeating behaviors. It's a self-defeating behavior. The more you give the excuses, it is nothing but escapism. So we call it as a defense mechanism in psychology. To avoid something, you give some other reason. So we have to highlight the issue is that what the student is telling is wrong. Now you know that it is wrong, right? You know that it's wrong. So once it is, you know that it's wrong, you can talk to personally, where you can tell these things will not work out, because as you said, nowadays students are into shortcut methods, easy way of getting marks, easy way of getting degrees, not putting hard effort. So this is where you can defeat their what you call self-defeating behavior by realizing them this is of no use. By telling Tata Satodru, this is the common thing. More divasa in the hotte nevu, right? This is a common thing what you heard. So you kill unnecessary grandpas and grandmas, and you bring lot of illnesses. And nowadays the new thing is from the girls is a PMS. How many have heard of the premenstrual syndrome? I get wondered because we never heard of aches and pains during those days. Nowadays, everybody, including boys, there's aches and pains. I get shocks. I said we never heard of. So this is where you have to what you call bringing them the reality issues. But this can be done in orientation. No lame excuses. And it again depends on you. The more you are strict, definitely they fall in line. But don't be empathetic, but be sympathetic. That is more important. The more you are empathetic, then you will be under pressure. But show them sympathy, show them concern. Yes, because of them we are there. If students are not there, where are we? So that is why we have to show them concern, and some are genuine cases again, as you said. For them, really show the empathy. But those fake cases, we say faking cases, shortcut cases, I think you have to teach them by showing them the reality. That's what we do in our college, especially in our department. I don't know about other departments. And they're very regular to our class. We have no issues at all. And in fact, they tell us in advance, we are not able to reach or come to class today. Fine, at least that kind of discipline we have brought. And again, 25% we leave for them, right? From attendance
And, so,
part.
and sometimes what happens like this in the extension, they know the teacher is very strict and they find a way to, reach the management and somehow get this thing done, the thing done at that particular time. So that time, how can a teacher again handle in between a student and the management?
See, again, when the management interferes, I think that's a quite what you call delicate issue to discuss here, because I cannot go against the management, or I cannot say go against the teacher. So that I leave it to you only, because again, it depends on the management. But sometimes you are helpless.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are helpless. So you have to take your own self-coping strategies.
Okay.
How to manage well.
Yes.
Okay, madam. Any other questions?